Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
And on tonight's episode of the Brewtiful Game, PSG demolish Inter Milan in the UEFA Champions League final to win their first ever European championship. Who needs league play in the Champions League, apparently? It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It means nothing. We'll then blow the halftime whistle as the traveler, the T-bone, and pyro parent of the Polish sausage, Ron, prepares with us all the news that's fit to drink in yet another edition of Ron's Beer News, as he celebrates Chelsea's women winning yet another WSL title.
Heck yes.
Then,
I completely forgot to mark that out, by the way. But if you want to add, when we didn't say this last pod, they did win also in the FA Cup. So they did the domestic treble.
yes.
So congrats to Chelsea women.
Then in the second half, we will once again mix our famous 2-minute drill with our equally as famous, the LeagueA's Roundup, as we hit on some matches, some headlines, and some transfer news for around the world of football in our Brewtiful LeagueA's mixtape Roundup. I needed to go. I should have edited that together. But first, a beer, and I do believe I'm first. They're English, so I'm gonna stick with. I'm kind of working my way down all the Lancaster Brewing Company ones that I picked up, and I gave their English because I am doing one that's got a nice old Amish farmer right on the can. This is from Lancaster Brewing. I've had the last couple of pods. This is their Hayes Farmer New England style India Pale Ale brewed with milk sugar. Hazy and jam-packed with fresh hop aromas and flavorful. We use Citra and Mosaic hops throughout brewing and fermentation, then bypass filtration to intensify the pure, juicy hop essences of grapefruit, citrus straw, and that there tropical fruit.
Lovely.
I'm excited to try this, dude.
All right. Well, I guess that means I'm up next, and I am about to go on a month-long tour of Europe and Japan for a little bit of pleasure, but then a whole lot of work.
I know. Are we doing we're gonna do the time exchange podcast again? We haven't done that in a bit.
Don't worry, it'll be my morning and your night. So,
And we'll have to do it on the opening day of the Club World Cup.
Oh yeah,
The excitement that's going to be.
The world will be on edge. Ron's going to find out, as a matter of fact, over in Japan, how crazy big the FIFA Club World Cup is.
The clubs, the bars will be packed, the pubs will be full.
Yeah,
The
considering
sake will be flowing.
no Japanese team is in it. That'll
There's
probably
a surprise.
that'll tell you something. But gentlemen, since I'm going to Japan, I will do a Japanese craft beer that a friend of mine brought from just outside of Tokyo. The brewery is called Koido. And this beer, this brewing company is owned by Kyoto Shoji, the parent company, and they have been working on organic farming since the late 1970s. With the concept of safe, secure, and delicious. And so what they do is they grow these massive wheat farms, and they take the wheat and use that wheat to fertilize other farms to grow, or other fields to grow other crops. Well, they decided, hey, what happens if we brew with some of this wheat? And so in 1994, the revision of the Japanese liquor tax law sparked a craft beer boom in Japan, and this brewery got a license to produce hapashu, which is a low malt beer and therefore very low alcohol content. And so they started brewing a beer called the Satsuma Imo Lager, and they brewed it from sweet potatoes grown in their local town of Kawagoe. So in 1997, a German beer master, fourth generation of Braumeisters, came over and taught them for 5 years how to make beer. And so these guys have a cool story. You can go to their website, which is Coedo, Coedo brewery.com. And you can check out the cool history and all the crazy beers they have. And they have a beer called Jet Black, a long-aged beer with a striking contrast between the glossy black color and a fine brown-white foam. The aroma hops give it a pleasant aroma, and a blend of two types of black malt and other malts create a balance of mellowness, lightness that isn't too heavy, but just right in the mouthfeel. That sounds a little...
That sounded a little Google Translate.
Yeah, right?
Uh-huh.
In honor of the glossy black color and moist aroma, the brewery named it Shikoku, which is a world-famous name that translates to jet black. So this is a jet black beer that Japan can be proud of. It's a black lager. It's got malt and hops in it, alcohol content 5% ABV. It has won like 6 dozen awards starting in 2007 all the way to 2023. It's won in 11 different countries, including the US, the Los Angeles International Beer Competition, Australia International Beer Awards, Germany, Hong Kong, Macau. It's won all over the place. So since I'm going to Japan, I figured I would crack this bad boy right here.
It is darn good because I had that laying in the pool on Memorial Day there.
Yeah. At when we had a little Memorial Day party, did we grill out?
Yeah, I noticed he didn't. He shared that with you, just not the Belgian Trappist beer. So I didn't wait for you for that.
Now, in my defense, I said the next time we are celebrating something and you are here, and Ferris decided to not show up for the celebration.
I also decided not to do the content the day before and decided that I didn't get off of work until whatever time and needed to do the content because it was our Premier League wrap-up, so I kind of need to do the content there. So I just shot myself in the foot like 4 or 5 times.
All right, Ferris.
What you got, Ferris?
So I texted you guys this on Sunday, but I was shopping at the old local Publix. And if you don't know, the Publix every now and again, every week do BOGOs. They always do buy one, get one free on a lot of stuff. And I'm walking by one of their display stands there. And I kind of had to turn my head twice just to kind of make sure I read it right. But 12 packs of Sweetwater Brewing were buy one, get one free. Gentlemen, 24 beers. 12 of them free. But 24 beers comes out with 92 cents per beer.
You're losing money if you don't buy that.
100%. It doesn't even make sense, but I love it. And guess what I did? I bought it. I bought 2 variety packs, an IPA one and a pale ale one, as they're very much well known for the 420 pale ale of theirs. Sweetwater Brewing in Atlanta, Georgia. Initially started off in Colorado, but just after the 96 Atlanta Olympics in February of that next year, Sweetwater opened their doors in 1997. So the first one I am having is an IPA, and it is called, it's one that I have not had. It is a Tropical High Hazy IPA.
Oh, we got 2 hazies on this episode. Excellent.
Mm-hmm. And on their site, you can head over to sweetwaterbrew.com. We endowed this straight up juice bomb with a double dry hop of Mosaic, Citra, Eldorado, and Azteca for a blast of mango, stone fruit, lime, and pine aromas. It's not a mirage, but a tasty, refreshing oasis in your pursuit of happiness. 6.2 ABV, 45 on the old IBUs. Flavor profile, citrusy, hazy, juicy, piney. Malt bill is 2 row, oats and wheat. And then hops, as I said, Azteca, Citra, and Eldorado. Yeah, El Dorado. So.
I forgot to say that the ABV on mine was 7.5. I actually didn't realize it was that high for this hazy IPA.
Ding, Blake is getting tanked.
Maybe I don't grab me 2 more of these in the middle
After
of
the
the pod.
last pod where you and I both had over like 9%ers or 8%ers. It's not like a whole lot. And then if I do another one later, it will be a pale ale from them. But we'll get there if I get there.
All right, gents, shall we crack these open?
Oh, why not?
We shall. I got to use the cool can or pop top.
From
Guy.
Wild Dukes.
I love that thing.
Well, and I'm using my sweet Arsenal cup from Mr. Ferris that he brought me all the way from North London.
I'm using the 2012 Euros glass we got at the Harp and Kelp.
I almost did the same thing, and I was like, this hazy will look good in this glass that Ferris got me.
I'm using a pint can glass from it says For the Bay. It is a local clothing company in Tampa Bay called For the Bay. So
mine is unfiltered, dude. I don't know if you noticed, like you can't see through this at all.
Oh no, you can't.
That is one hazy IPA. Cheers. Oh wait. Before we cheers, let's cheers to actually getting it right. And what we should have said was that this is our 9th year.
Well, hold on a second. Is it the 9th or the 10th year?
No, we did it 2016. So it's 9. We're going into our 10th. And Tony Sounds Good kind of like made it confusing the way but like
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All
So we 2016.
Our first episode was 2016.
Yeah. So we were 9 years, and we also we 6, 5, 4. How many years have we been doing it? We still didn't make sense.
We were close.
My kid is 7 years old. We'd have to be
That's
older
true.
than
Yeah,
that.
no, that's fair.
So
That's
cheers, gents, to 9 years.
Cheers.
To 9 years. Sláinte.
Ron, you would love this because the smell of it smells like brewing at our old house.
Nice.
Like it's got, man, like it
that
really
good bready malt smell.
with the hops really popping through hard. Like, yeah, man, that's exactly like bottling day. That's what it smells like. Oh,
this black lager is so flippin' good.
It is good.
I could have like 6 of these things. Ooh, just a bitterness up front, a nice mellow malt kind of takes over as it rolls through your palate. Oh, that's so good.
And I'm sorry,
It's light.
what was the ABV on that? Was it like 6 or something? I thought I remember
5%.
5%. Okay, so maybe it was the other one that I had from them that was 6.
They're wit beer.
Might be. This IPA is smooth. I think there's kind of a mixture of that mango, fruit, lime, and pine. It's kind of a little too subtle. But it's a very easy, smooth drinking IPA, and it is. I'm gonna be done with this, and I'll definitely do a second beer of theirs because, man, it's smooth and good.
yeah, this is flipping delicious. To be 7.5%, I could sit by the pool and drink this all day long. This here's tasty, and I haven't had a hazy in a while. I've laid off hoppy stuff in the last like month or so it's nice to swing back into a little hops. All right, gentlemen. 9 years. Oh, you know what, Ryan? It's because it's unfiltered too, so you really smell the yeast too. It makes me want to brew.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally what this smells like.
Smells like a bunch of yeast washing.
Oh,
That's what I remember.
oh yeah.
God, we did so much of that.
I know. And our old hippie neighbor coming over and getting hammered with his poker buddies as we couldn't figure out our line pressure correctly. It's a shame we weren't recording a pod then. It would have been unintelligible.
That would have been hilarious.
Like, yes. Absolutely pointless. All right, gentlemen. So let's go over to the Ferris. What are we talking about?
The champions.
That's right. This past Saturday, Paris Saint-Germain, otherwise known as PSG down in Texas, they absolutely dismantled and demolished Inter Milan in the UEFA Champions League final by a scoreline of 5-0. You heard that correctly, 5-0. From the 12th minute, beautiful passage of play, which fullback Ashraf Hakimi. Did I do that right? Finished
Hakimi,
off finished off easily in front of net to the 19-year-old at the time. He did just turn 20, didn't he? Desiree Dews, 2 goals and
Duray.
a Duray, missing an R.
It's supposed to have a little inglot or whatever not inglot. That's
that's an umlaut. That's
not an umlaut.
The accent. Oh, you're talking about. Yeah, Desiree Duray. 2 goals.
Inglot is a makeup product that we use.
That is a makeup product.
Whatever. Just keep going.
But at the time, Desiree Duray's 2 goals and an assist, then to the outstanding summer signing. Give it to me, Ferris.
I was hoping you wouldn't go to me. Curticelli. I don't.
Look it up.
Keep
look
going.
it up.
I'll check on
He's
pronunciation.
That wonderful footballer had a goal in the 73rd, and finally another 19-year-old. Gosh, so young. Sini Mayulu finishing the Italian team off in the 86th minute. It was PSG for the full 90. Sorry, Mbappe, you missed out. No Neymar.
Hilarious.
No Messi.
Kvaratskhelia. That's not helping.
No
Anyways.
no Mbappe. No problem. Mbappe. There's a joke there somewhere. Let me keep working on it. I'll workshop an Mbappe joke in there. While we wished for a better overall game, what a match from PSG. They were okay in the league play. Boy, they came out swinging for the rest.
If you remember, they lost their first 5 games or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were 25th, 29th. They were somewhere down there in the bottom of the UEFA Champions League table, because remember, we went to the table format this year. And once they beat Man City, it was like they just turned another gear, and they just started to steamroll.
They stayed humble,
and they got there, and they beat 3 Premier League teams. The top 2 teams in the Premier League they beat. And top 8 team they beat Aston Villa to start, and probably what was their hardest and most the demanding one is it was like a 7-5 on aggregate. Once out of that, they beat the champions of England, Liverpool, and then they beat Arsenal in the semifinals.
What was the aggregate there? I forget what that was.
For Arsenal?
Yeah, Arsenal.
3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, something like that. And it really wasn't even close in this game. I mean, that first goal made it look so incredibly easy for PSG just to ping that ball, but it's not that easy. The turn, the play, the ball in, you kind of name it. It was pretty easily put away by Hakimi there.
I mean,
it just kept getting.
It looked like me playing easy on FIFA is what it looked like.
Yeah, no,
yeah, it was an absolute clinic.
And it just got worse from there. It's like Inter almost never got off the plane. It's like they just were like they were beat down from the season. Didn't want to play. PSG just made them look pedestrian. And Inter are a good team. Are a very, very good team, and they made them look pedestrian. And what is the biggest win in Champions League, history and top flight European Cup, history? 5-0. Wow. And
then their fans went berserk and destroyed Paris.
I was listening to a show, and I never understood that. You're so happy you decide to destroy your own city.
No, what I don't understand is that's Paris. Guys, I live in Pennsylvania. That is some Philly right there is what that is. Right. That is not what I associate with Paris at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. They meant PA for Paris, not PA for Pennsylvania.
That's not something I just expect to, all the Italian towns that do all the fireworks. What was the fireworks celebration for who just won?
Napoli.
Napoli. Oh my gosh, that video of the fireworks. That's crazy. That's the stuff you expect. Paris, I don't know. They're all gonna go have a cigarette and kiss someone out on a porch somewhere, or like I don't know. That's what I expect. And they're like,
put on their berets and puff a ciggy and move on.
Eat a baguette. There's a quiet section of town where all the mimes have met, and they're like all reenacting the game, but through mime. Yeah, that's what I expect. I don't expect them to go ripping up the town. You got to grease the light poles like they do in is that it's Philly, right? Yeah, they greased the light poles. Yeah.
Yes.
So it just to show some of the dominance, here were some of the stats. PSG had 23 shots compared to Inter's 8 shots. Possession, a mild 59.3% for PSG, while Inter had 40.7. Shots on target were 8 for PSG compared to only 2 from Inter. And corner kicks, they had 2 less than Inter, but really, Gianluigi Donnarumma didn't have really do anything, made 2 saves. Jan Sommer made 3, but the other 5 that he didn't save were all on goal there. So it was a pure just domination. And yes, Inter was the oldest team in the league, while PSG was the second youngest in the league. And you saw that on display. Now, Inter got there by beating a very good Barca team, 7-6 on aggregate. They scored goals early in those games. They won the shootout in each game, and that's how they advanced. They lacked a little bit in the league. They were so focused on trying to win a Champions League, which they were in the final, 2 or 3 years ago and lost. So trying to get back to it and try to win. And this was just an absolute ass whooping. And PSG looked every ounce of the team that deserves to win one of the biggest games in the world.
Yeah, I think the thing that was the most impressive about this, in my opinion, was this was an absolute lesson on how to press a team.
Yeah.
I've never seen a team so cohesively press. They would man mark at some points, but then seamlessly they'd kind of shift to this zone pressing, which would then cut out passing options and force a player, an opposing player into a 2v1 scenario where they almost always coughed up the ball. It was just a clinic on how to press.
Yeah, and a full team press, right? There's a clip that was being shared online from Cartavasticali, however say his name, I apologize, how he ran almost the length of the field to backtrack a player and steal the ball and win the ball back for his team in his in a defensive third that he really shouldn't even be in because he's a left wing forward. But that's the hustle. That's what they've done all season. And we talk about they've had what? David Beckham, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Edison Cavani, Neymar, Messi, Mbappe have not been able to win this. This is a team that, if you're listening to this pod, you might know a handful of the players on the pod. You may know all of them. But if you were kind of new to this game, if you just turned into CBS on a Saturday, afternoon, you've heard of PSG, right? Probably because of David Beckham or Neymar or Mbappe or Messi or whoever. But you do you go through and know all of the players on this team? No, you don't.
Yeah.
And it should be said with no out-and-out number 9. Cartavascelli, Dembele, and Dore are all probably classified as out-and-out wingers, not number 9s, not center forwards. But their movement up front, so dynamic.
It was balletic, just incredible.
So quick. They moved off the ball, short passes, good passes into space, pulling defenders, you name it, they did it. While a very young midfield with the oldest being 29 and Fabian Ruiz, but you had Vitinha, a Portuguese 25-year-old, if you remember, was at Wolves just a few seasons ago.
Yeah,
And
he
he's
covered a
so
bunch of
much
ground
ground.
in this. Yeah.
And could very easily be argued that he was the player of the tournament. You had Joel Neves, only 20 years old. And then your back line, Nuno Mendes, a Portuguese player, and if I'm not mistaken, also at Wolves at one point. William Pacho, an Ecuadorian defender. How many people knew he was on the team? Because I didn't. And then everybody knew Marquinhos, the 31 Brazilian captain, finally wins it, only becomes the second Brazilian captain to win the Champions League for his team. Hakimi, who we've talked about, and then Donnarumma and net. Italy's, national number one goalkeeper, didn't have to do much, but kept him in every game throughout the tournament. And then you can't forget Luis Enrique, his second time winning this and winning a treble. He only becomes the sixth manager ever to win a treble for club. He did it with Barcelona back in 2000 and was it 17, 18, somewhere in that realm. And if you did not see, it was pretty much in dedication to his young daughter who passed away just a few years ago. He had a image of her planting the flag when they last won the not when PSG, but when Enrique was with Barca and they won the league. His daughter was out on the field after the game and planted a flag. The PSG Ultras displayed a banner essentially of him and his daughter at the end of the game. Just a well-coached, well-managed, tacticized, you name it, you throw out any made-up word or real world word, PSG deserved to win this tournament, deserved to win this game. We know about their, oil funds and their Saudi connects, but after all of these years, they got it right. They built a team. They didn't build a team of superstars. They built a team. And that team and Luis Enrique deserve to win this.
Yeah, it's like they were built to own the Champions League the way that they were put together. They could make it with as young as their club is right now too. They could make a Barcelona the 2010 2000 18-19 run.
Yeah,
and
they could just go on a run of it.
Yeah, and you just keep seeing them in the final over and over. And then, it stops being Real Madrid in the final every time or something like that. But you definitely could see a little dynasty happening right now.
And it's going to be harder too. And it was hard for them, right? In this new league table format with a few more games in the league phase.
Did we like that? Did we talk about that really? We
did on a couple of occasions.
Yeah.
The start of the season we talked about it, and then kind of right after the group stage we had a chat about it. I think it's fun overall, but does it need? I don't really think they needed to go that way.
I think that's the thing. It isn't bad, but it's not like this big change that you went, oh, you know what? Yeah, it's nothing, right? Like 5 years could go by, people go, oh, right, yeah, it used to be the other way too. It doesn't matter.
Aside from more revenue.
Right, yeah.
That's really where this comes down to, right? They want more teams in it so they can play more games and attract a wider financial base to keep the competitions going, because they only get more and more expensive.
Yeah, and I think it was interesting that you're not seeing just one team playing the same three teams.
Yeah.
Right? And 6 different games. You saw them playing all sorts of teams, right?
I think you're
PSG,
bigger. Sorry, go ahead.
PSG lost to Villa in the group stage.
Yeah.
And yet they played them again. So you saw some of those weird things. I think it wasn't terrible. It seemed like a lot on the earlier stages because there were so many games.
Yeah.
But I think for a team to get through this competition in the way that PSG did, by being almost, near the bottom half of the table, lower bottom half of the table, and it took their January win over Man City to turn things around, and now look where they were. That's kind of a full scope of how to get through this new style tournament, and they did. And does the league that they play in maybe help a bit? Maybe, but this team was a team, and they were built organized. They were built strong. They were built just disciplined with talent in the attacking front three that just ran wild all over Inter, all over Arsenal, all over Liverpool, that got them this far.
PSG, we might be seeing you a few more times.
It'll be Chelsea next season. Don't worry. Just kidding.
Stretching for it. I think to be honest, that's the bigger changes by not having some big teams that get knocked out and dropped into UEFA, who then would typically a lot of times go on to do well in the Europa League. It probably changes things more there for those different teams. I think you'll see get qualified out of Europa into Champions League. I think that'll be the biggest change. It's just, Chelsea going in. Chelsea's been in Champions League before, so it's not like what, but yeah. I think another club, next year that, I think like an Aston Villa, even though they were in Champions League this year, right? But or the kind of like your Forest and those types that have a chance to go in there. God, that would be insane. Would love to see that. All right, gents.
Sorry, real quick. The last thing, their dominance throughout the entirety of the knockout stages. Some stats to highlight. I got this off of the Athletic. They had the most goals, 24 in the knockout stages.
That's wild.
Next best was 15. They had the most shots, 172. Next best, 102. Most shots on target, 69. Next best, 42. Highest XG, 20.1. Next best was 12.3. And highest possession, 62%. So, yeah, they dominated the knockouts. They dominated the finals. And PSG, your 2025 the champions. League winners.
Oh, man, it's going to be a boring couple of months until we can get back to Premier League and Champions League again. I'm going to miss Fair singing.
No way. There's plenty of stuff going on in the summer.
Yeah, but no Champions League. We need Ferris to have a theme song to sing along.
What's the thing? That
doesn't quite have the same.
What's the theme for the Women's Euros?
Well, hold on. Real quick before you say that, because we're talking about songs and theme songs. Did anybody see Linkin Park's pre-game? There's a lot of stuff going around about
Who was trashing it?
Ural player, Van Basten.
Yeah, it was like, he was so upset about that. Like Linkin Park playing, what a joke. And I heard someone say, he was a Limp Bizkit fan, so he's upset.
Hilarious.
In fairness, the new Linkin Park stuff's good. It's not, I'm sorry, it's just not going to be anywhere near as good as when Chester Benningfield, is that his name? When he was their lead singer.
Wait, where's that? Here's what he said. Marco Van Basten. So I found it. I find it absolutely idiotic. Linkin Park performance called a disgrace by former soccer star. Love it.
It's a little harsh.
I mean, what difference does it really make?
It was a pre-match concert or something.
Well, I think it's that for all you Americans out there who might be listening with this, this is a very common thing for us to do that isn't a thing in Europe. Like
Mm-mm.
We bring out the superstars to play the halftime, the Super Bowl, all this kind of stuff. And that's not a thing. And this was a very American halftime vibe to it.
Yeah, was it halftime or was it before the game?
It was before the game, but
Before
it was
the game,
like
okay.
that. You know what I mean? Like that very and
and they're a very American band.
Yeah.
Usually what you see in these matches are world artists, right? Like,
Shakira.
Or an internationally known DJ, something of that, sorts or ilk. This was kind of a little bit different. It was played in Germany. Not that Lincoln Park, I don't think has any.
yeah, why was it
roots back
David
there,
Hasselhoff? Well, that's what we need. David
the
Hasselhoff.
Hoff.
He should have been.
But
Yeah.
heck yeah.
So the conspiracy theorists are saying that the UEFA is trying to reach a broader American audience because eventually they are going to try and hold the final in America.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The
For
European Championship in
I know it.
America. What the are we doing?
Oh, but Ferris, it makes absolute total sense. What are you talking about? This smacks of like an executive sitting up somewhere with an idea.
This and you only need to look as far as the Chelsea new ownership to know that this is true, because they're like, hey, we should do an all-star game.
Oh, Jesus.
What about the Spurs, right? The NFL stadium of England now. But this smacks of such a like we need to get the Americans in. Oh yeah, they like it in Lincoln Park. No, like that's a that was never going to be a draw for Americans. No American is tuning in when they haven't before to see the Champions League because effing Lincoln Park is playing there.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
What's done the Champions League darn well here in the U.S. is similar to what the NBA on TNT did. They're in studio coverage.
Yes,
with Kate Abdo and Thierry Henry and Jamie Carragher and what's the other guy's name?
Noah.
Mika. Everybody's
Richards.
yelling at their everybody's like yelling at Mika Richards. Yeah, sorry, but I'll also say, if you watch what Kate Abdo, and I know she had a few gaffes here and there. If you didn't watch the David Beckham and Friends thing that they had with Tom Cruise on and Tom Brady, she was kind of like the host of that. She told Tom Brady that his show is doing so well on Hulu.
And he doesn't own Wrexham.
He does not. He owns Birmingham. She immediately caught it. It was like, whoops. But what the bilingual hell that her and Anita Jones, the reporters, do, live translating, is crazy. They're doing this. They're getting players like to their table, after the game. And Anita was covering for Kate for a bit until she came down from what they were doing with the friends up there. And they're live translating French and I think Portuguese. And they're live translating it back to the audience as Thierry Henry speaks French to some of the players, ask them the things. They're answering and they're translating it back to them, which is insane. Anyways, back to the original point. That show has done more for the Champions League in the U.S. than a Lincoln Park halftime show or anything else that is going on. To have CBS do it is they're doing to this tournament what NBC did to the Premier League. They have a good crew in studio, showing the games. Yes, you have to have Paramount Plus or whatever, but you can watch all the games, highlight shows, post matches. You got it. That's what grows the game here.
Well, I mean, that's sort of the NBC model, right? For as far as the Premier League, so like that's
Exactly.
That's why that Premier League grew so much here, and even why they took less money for the negotiations than other people were offering, just because they knew it would keep the quality up. that probably won't keep lasting that way, but.
And just to end, CBS just grabbed the rights until 2030 for the Women's Champions League. So can expect some good coverage from them as well. So it's exciting.
Excellent. All right, gentlemen, shall we get us to halftime? All right, let's do it. All right, over to the pickled pork purveyor of sausage. I couldn't think of another word.
Call it pickled pork purveyor of the pork rind.
The problem is I stopped because all I could think was the pickled pork purveyor of the penile pork rind. I couldn't like.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that went somewhere fast.
Exactly. And I froze because I was like, it's the only word I could think of.
Should have just gone with it. You have the ability to bleep things out if it gets too bad.
Oh, I don't think penile's been said on this show before. Now it's been said twice.
So, gentlemen, I have some sad news and some interesting news. Sad news is a favorite brewery of at least Blake and myself over the years has filed Chapter 7. In the brewery bubble breaking, Duck Rabbit Brewing in Farmville, North Carolina, closed their doors due to financial difficulties, including the rising cost of ingredients, supplies, packaging, and along with shifts in consumer preferences away from traditional beers and towards seltzers and low alcohol options. The brewery faced declining revenue and had significant debt, ultimately leading to a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And if you don't know what a Chapter 7 is, it is where the company essentially hires a designated firm to liquidate their assets and use the money to pay off the debt from the company, which is different than Chapter 11. Chapter 11, you're asking for forgiveness from the debt as you restructure the company and then continue to operate. So poor Duck Rabbit Brewing, they had a massive revenue decrease between 2023 and 2024, which really strained their finances. They'd accumulated a lot of debt, including small business association loans and credit card debt, which, means now you can't buy supplies. It's hard to pay your employees, and the end of an era for a really cool brewery with some great beers.
And they're the dark beer specialists. You won't find any pale ales or anything there. It's all amber ales
Right.
at the lightest brown ale. Everything else is Baltic porter, barley wine. Their milk stout's what they're famous for. And it sucks because
I love a good Baltic porter.
they're in Farmville, which just outside of Greenville, North Carolina, where I went to university. And while their website says we sold our first beer in August 2004, that's not quite accurate. Because I had their first beer in 2001, 2002, when they there was this pizza shop that opened like a couple of blocks from our apartment, and they had craft beer, and we were like, what is Duck Rabbit? And like, oh, it's a dude just down the way here. He just brought in kegs. He's a real small brewer. Who knows if this was legal or not? Because like. They specifically put 2004, but I definitely had Duck Rabbit Porter like at that restaurant with like a can with a handwritten thing on it. I mean, like, on the keg or whatever, you know what I mean? But that's what I was all excited about when I finally saw it like being bottled and stuff. It's like, oh, seen that dude drop off stuff before. And it was pretty much out of his garage at that time. I remember that place having great pizza. But I've discovered every college place I've gone back to that I thought had great pizza did not. And it was just 1:00 in the morning and too many beers in, and it seemed like good pizza.
So, gentlemen, raise a glass to a great brewery who is no longer with us, making fabulous beers, to Duck Rabbit.
One of my favorite glasses upstairs, Duck
Cheers.
Rabbit. Cheers.
But gentlemen, as one door closes another one opens. The new style of beer on the beer market, which is experiencing a significant surge in popularity.
New beer?
And yep,
Sorry.
new style of beer. And it's driven by shifting consumer preferences and a broader focus on health and wellness, sustainability, all that kind of new modern thinking. NA beers. NA beers, gentlemen.
Huge
growth-
when I was in Connecticut. I mean, that's where athletic
Huh.
brewing is. Or yeah, athletic, is that what they're called?
Yep.
You see them a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, it was huge. Like, it was a big deal. Like, every place had those when I was in Connecticut.
The global non-alcoholic beer market in 2024. Guess how much money the industry was worth last year in 2024. Ferris, you go first.
Say that one more time.
How much money was the non-alcohol beer, the NA beer market, worth in 2024 in US dollars?
10.5 million.
Blake?
10.5. I don't think it's less. I'll be a jerk and say 15.5.
Gentlemen, you are short by like 10 orders of magnitude.
Wow.
4.37 billion US
Whoa.
dollars in 2024. And by 2026, it is expected to more than double at $10 billion.
Is that US or global?
US.
Dang.
Jeez, Clark.
I liked the athletic brewing, and I didn't understand the difference that something has changed in the process. That near beer used to be gross, but now there's a way they can remove the alcohol that still lets you make it the same way, so the flavors are far closer. Everything I tried from athletic, I thought was pretty good.
Yeah. It's experiencing a 45% year over year increase, which is unbelievable. Globally, non-alcoholic beer is projected to become the second largest beer category in 2025, surpassing ale in sales volume.
Look, for me, this is hitting at the right time. I'm too old to keep having a ton of these things at night before I go to bed. But you give me a non-alcoholic Guinness that tastes just like a Guinness, sweet.
Yeah. So some driving factors for this: health and wellness. Consumers are increasingly mindful of alcohol's negative health impacts. So this has led to the sober curious movement. Sober curious. That's funny. I don't know why it's called a sober curious when you could just drink a Coke and still be sober, but we'll have that debate on another day.
I heard it explained in one that it was just like people, it comes out of, you ever heard like the dry January trend that started? So it came out of that, and people going, I was pretty chilled for that month. I don't need to have another beer. And so the sober curious came out of how much longer can I keep going before I want to break the streak is what I understood the term, the fad to come through.
It sounds kind of backwards to me, but I get it. So there is a massive amount of consumer base, right? Now that it's not alcohol, so lots of people can drink it. You could have it with your pizza at the corner pizza shop, and those guys don't need a license to sell it, right? So the sales base and the consumer base are massively huge, right?
Spider-Man's making it, bro.
I know, right? And they're starting to leverage his likeness now on their advertising.
And his even came out of he admitted, though he looks like he's 12. I mean, he's obviously not 12, but like Tom Holland's like, I was drinking too much when I started really making it in movies, and I just stopped, but I like it. So that was the whole impetus for it.
Yep. So an improved quality and variety as the NA beer industry gets larger. More people are drinking it, so people are making better versions, and they're making a lot more of them. Obviously, that leads to an increased availability because there's an increase in demand. The major brands, Well, let's go this way. Gentlemen, who do you think owns the current 2024, well, I guess it's not current because it's 2024, but the market share of NA beers in the USA?
Who has the biggest market share of the non-alcoholic beers?
Yeah.
I mean, is it InBev just out of like market share? Like they can push a bunch of stuff out?
Ferris?
Coles, or Coors,
Molson Coors?
yes, thank you.
Both would be incorrect.
Oh, blast.
Athletic Brewing Company has emerged as the top selling NA beer brand.
That's huge
With-
though. Because that's not a
Yeah,
right-
no, but I thought it. Yeah, sorry, I don't know if I maybe misunderstood the.
I just would have thought
27% of the market share.
I just would
they're
have thought
leading.
by size they're just not as big. That's impressive. But they beat the curve because they've been doing this for a while.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Heineken is the second place at 27%. Budweiser, Bud Zero is in the mix. Guinness Zero is rapidly gaining popularity as that's a relatively new one to the market. And then there's kind of everybody else.
Have you tried the Guinness Zero Fairs?
I have not. Have you?
As someone that does Guinness a lot, you should. Yeah, I have some in my fridge right now because like I like a good Guinness prior to bed, but I was like, keep myself up. I was like, so I tried it for giggles a couple of months ago. Saw it at the grocery store, and I was like, oh, this, and I did it because I had tried the Athletic before in Connecticut. It's good. It's quite good. I can see why it's probably doing well, the Guinness one, even though you would think that the darker beer is a harder market to cover. But there's something about the roasted barley, like it tastes the same to me.
So, gentlemen, get out, try you some NA beers because there's a massive amount for you to give a try to.
Hell yeah.
And as my
awesome.
pregnant wife would attest to, the Athletic Brewing Company has so many good versions.
The Mexican lager kicks butt from them. They're hazy,
Yeah.
which is like one of their originals, super good. Yeah, I don't feel guilty after coming back from like Kung Fu Wing Chun class. So that's why I got my Guinness Zero.
Heck yeah.
For afterwards.
And that, gentlemen, is all the news that's fit to drink.
All right, now it's time to get to the LeagueA's Roundup. I almost said the wrong sound.
I need to hear a sound first.
And our 2-minute drill. So we're going to cover some matches, some headlines, some transfer news from around the world of football as we ask questions and or make our patented smart ass comments in our Brewtiful La Liga's mixtape roundup. And I really like, I'm of kind of can't believe it has taken 9 years for Ferris to, or one of us, to have done something clever like we're a Fast and the Furious sequel, and Ferris wrote Brewtiful as in BREW2 FUL. Like,
this is the Tokyo Drift part of the pod.
Too Fast, Too Furious, baby. Like I see that, I'm like, man, you son of a gun. We're in a 2008 action flick sequel right here. That cracks me up.
Because it's like a mixtape, right?
I love it. Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank
Volume
you
2.
for starting that off. Before we get into it, I'm going to do my second beer of the pod. Let me talk into the mic. That would probably help. It's a 420 series, Citrus Haze. The Florida can of 420 fam, 420 Citrus Haze Pale Ale. Hazy Pale Ale. Drinks easy with tropical notes. Citrus, passion fruit, coconut, and pine. Assertive like a South Beach bouncer, but smooth as a skimboard. It's Grainville F wheat and rolled oats forecast. 100% chance of haze. 5.4%, somewhere between 35 and 38 IBUs. 2-row oats and wheat. So yeah, and it's the same kind of color, orange can, 420 Citrus Haze edition. I'm gonna pop this thing right out of a can, out of my Orlando Pride, with the star on it.
Heck yeah.
Oh, got a star koozie. That's great.
Heck yeah, man.
You'll be super proud for it's my daughter's last day of school tomorrow for first grade. And a couple days last week it was they do something weird each week, and it was like your favorite sports team. So she wore her Pride jersey that one of you guys get her a couple of years. I forget who got that for her. But it's extra.
I don't remember either.
Small youth, so it's like fits her just right now. I was like, you need another one.
Got it for. I don't remember.
Well, I said, you're gonna need another one before you start school back up. She was like, but I want one like yours, this with a star. This is Marta on it.
Heck yeah.
So I'm about to go order me another one of these.
Heck yes.
This pale ale just hits the mark, especially after the tropical hazy IPA. This citrus haze is like the pale ale brother of the IPA. So that's pretty good.
All right. My hazy's
First
been
up,
tasty.
Our U.S. women's national team was back in action on Saturday as they beat China 3-0 in the evening with goals from Kat Macario, my tucked-in goddess Sam Coffey, and Lindsay Heaps, a.k.a. Haran. They were playing in the night, and they won 4-0, I believe, over Jamaica. But, gents, what did you make of – and let's do both. What did you make of both the China match and the Jamaica match?
The Jamaica match, I'll be honest, I'm going to have to go back and look at highlights for. I did not get to look at that yet. I mean, like, it's just that feeling of, like, I mean, with the China match, it's just – no offense, China. It's hard to say much. Like, we have such ridiculous talent out there, and China's still building its women's game. So it's just a bit of an outclass situation.
Yeah, and trying to kind of approach the game wrong. Thought that they can kind of press and go after the U.S., who just broke that down almost too easy, and then just started to kind of steamroll them and just possess the ball well, good goals, and they're just too organized of a bunch to try to do that and steal a game from. And China aren't terrible. They're number 17 in the world ranks. So all in all, good goals from around the pitch. Kat Macario was probably the player of the match. Lola Bonta, the 32-year-old, getting her first call up and first cap, came in the 69th. And then tonight, our very own Caria Bello gets the start. I believe played the full 90, if I'm not mistaken, in what was the 4-0 win over Jamaica. Pretty cool.
I think I didn't see the Jamaica game. I'll have to check highlights. But for the China game, this had all of the Emma Hayes hallmarks of a well-organized, cool and calm under pressure team who has the basics down to a fine art for things like passing out of pressure, moving and creating open lanes of passing, being available for your fellow players, being patient, playing through that kind of Chinese press, and being ruthless on your chances when you get them.
You know what's nuts, Ron? That is such a good shout, and it smacked me in the face because I was like, oh, right. She hasn't been managing the national team that long, and It felt like she's been there forever in a good way. Like, they are absolutely adjusting and playing her style. And she's a rare, I don't know why this feels like in the world of national managers, it is rare to see someone let people play the way they play and then put your system, marry the system well with them. There always seems to be, especially in the men's team for us, that always seems to be a bit of an issue. But yeah, as if she's been there for the last 4 years is how that felt. Like that is her team now.
Yeah, and she's an incredible manager. Like you said, she's going to set up her players for success and she's going to put them where they can thrive and have a good time and create the best kind of homogeny that is possible between all the players. So I'm excited for, the future of this team because, I mean,
Can't wait.
we have so much good talent under such a great manager.
Yeah, and she's Blake, to your point, she's only been on the job for just a little bit over a year. She started on May 18th. Obviously won gold for the U.S. in the Summer Olympics. Right now, I don't know if this is up to date record, but 21 games, 17 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. So an 80.95%. So
Can't wait to see her lift that trophy. You heard it here first. Staying in the good old US of A, MLS just hit their midway point of the season. So here's how the tables are shaping up. Over on the East, we got Philadelphia Union in first with 34 points. Hey, I just moved to PA. Philadelphia, don't win this thing right out the gate. I already got to deal with the Eagles fans over here. All right, this is not so fast. Philadelphia Union at 34 points. FC Cincinnati at 30. A third is Inter Miami Messi at 29 points. Nashville SC at 29 points. Fifth is Columbus Crew at 28 points. New York Red Bulls coming in at 6 at 27 points. Orlando City 27 points in 7th place. Charlotte FC 8th at 25 points, and the 9th place, New York City FC at 25 points. It's tight. That's a tight East right there. And then 10th place, we got New England Revolution at 23, Chicago Fire FC at 22, DC United at 18 points, Atlanta United with 17 points, Toronto FC at 13 points, and CF Montreal sitting at the bottom at 15 with 8 points.
In the Western Conference, you have Who'da Thunk It Vancouver in first place on 32 points. Man, they skyrocketed at the end of last year, and they are continuing that this year. San Diego FC in second place on 30 points. Minnesota United in third place on 30 points. Seattle Sounders in fourth on 26 points. Fifth place, Portland, also on 26 points. All the stats tied up on there, goal differentials, goals for, and goals against, all the same. So sixth place goes to LAFC on 23 points. San Jose in seventh place on 22 points. Colorado in eighth on 22 points. They have a -4 goal differentials. That's why they're under San Jose. Ninth place is Houston Dynamo on 20 points. That rounds up your MLS playoffs and play-ins slots. Number 10 is Austin on 20 points with a -9 goal differential. They're just outside of that ninth place playoff spot. Dallas, 11th place, 18 points. Sporting KC, not having the greatest year this year, in 12th on 16 points. Real Salt Lake, 13th place on 15 points. St. Louis FC, 14th points on 14 points. 14th place. Good for them. LA Galaxy, sitting in squalor on the 15th spot in the table on 7 points.
Minus 21 goal difference.
Did any of
Gotta
us
be one of the shocks of the season so far.
Did any of us pick them as like the big team to not make the playoffs?
Oh, you're gonna make me look that up. I have no clue.
I feel
You're not allowed to know that till the end of the season.
I know. I'm just saying.
Well, I'll see if I can find it. But
I picked them before. I can't remember if I picked them
We're
this
just
year.
live here.
Yeah. So.
What year are we on? 2025.
Yeah, it's our 12th year. Remember?
No.
I thought it was our 14th.
17th. Well, we all had the same thing as the biggest team to miss the playoffs. To take a wild guess at who we thought that was. A little bit.
Miami. We're just being.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We were all being jerks. That's right.
Yeah, I think I picked Enter Messi for everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
We were all
Yeah.
being jerks. Oh, that's hysterical.
What I will say though, Vancouver being up there, we'll get to a game they just played here in a second, but in the league they've been very, very good, and it's because they have a solid team and a name that you may not have heard of in there, but if you remember Berhalter, Sebastian Berhalter, the son of Greg, is having himself just a phenomenal year. A goal, a few assists, just in the midfield. He's kind of just pulling the strings there. And they have a very attacking squad. Ali Ahmed from Canada leads the line right now with five assists. He's probably been one of their best ones. But then Brian White is the main goal scorer. Just got called up to the U.S. men's national team squad. 10 goals. And Ryan Gold, who's been their Scottish standout, who's been injured, unfortunately, for majority of this, not expected back until late June, has had 3 matches only, but has a goal on that. So when all 3 of those are in, they're great, but they're really playing well with Brian White and Ali Ahmed up front there. Over in the East, Union are just quietly kind of getting things done. Nothing too much. They just have a well-balanced squad between the not the Caleb brothers, but what are they? Kevin Sullivan, the Sullivan brothers, and Quinn Sullivan. They've been good, but Blake, to your point, it's just really tight for those top 9 spots right now, halfway through the season, and I expect they'll get a little bit tighter. But you'll probably see it get tight anywhere from 4 to 9th place, and you might start seeing those top 3 teams start to pull away slightly.
And we'll see if Inter Messi just falls right out. It could happen.
God, I hope so.
And speaking of MLS, soccer.com, 2 MLS sides just played some big matches. First, on Saturday night, LAFC beat Club America 2-1 in extra time to earn $10 million and entry into the FIFA Club World Cup.
The FIFA World Cup, Club Cup, the championship, the thing.
Then on Sunday, top of the table in the West, Vancouver Whitecaps were thrashed by Cruz Azul 5-0 in the CONCACAF Champions Cup final. What do we think of the 2 matches, gents?
We just talked about Vancouver. Not their best game there. They obviously got they obviously got thrashed. U.S. has only won it once in this tournament, so no real surprise. What the surprise was here is they got beat that bad 5-0.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah. LAFC one is just interesting because, sorry, it wasn't 10 million. It was 9.55 million, whatever. But Denny Bouanga's 115th in a goal. It was a deflected shot, but it was played in BMO Stadium there in Los Angeles. So that's a big goal for pretty good payday for them just to get into the tournament. If you remember, the reason they got into the tournament is Club Leon was booted from the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup because of multi-club ownership regulations. So it opened opportunity for the MLS and Liga MX sides, and that's why those 2 teams played in a playoff type game.
Oops. There we go. Finger was slipping on the digital button.
Transfers? We're talking about transfers? On the very first day of June, right when the first part of the summer transfer window opened up. Transfers? Manchester United announced that they have reached an agreement with Wolves on the transfer of the Brazilian talisman Matheus Cunha for a release clause fee of £62.5 million or $83.7 million. And with news just yesterday of Brentford forward Brian Mbeumo choosing his next destination of Manchester United. Gentlemen, what do you think of United's early move so far?
So before we get there, Blake, please isolate Ferris saying transfers.
Yeah, transfers? I'm just going to write down this time right now. Yeah.
Please. That is worth it. I think...
Wait, who was it, the playoffs?
Yeah.
We talked about this on this on a pod recently, but who was that? Was that Dick Vermeil?
I think that's right.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think we just recently talked about it on a pod, but I was like, man,
I'll pull that out.
classic. Yeah, classic.
Oh,
I
we're
mean,
wrong.
Who
We're
is
wrong.
it?
It's not Dick Vermeil.
Jim Mora.
Jim Mora, Samsonite. Way off.
I think it's a good start, but until you get 22 new ones, I think you're still in 15th place.
Yeah, fair. You know, you say
You're not wrong.
I mean, like,
You're not.
I mean, that's according to David Beckham. I mean, his little thing that he just he was like,
no,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know, but you say that, but in fairness, they're getting goal scorers, which United could not do last year to save their life. They could not score goals. Brian Abema, I think, scored all but like one less goal than the whole 4 starting forwards for United in terms of like, I don't know, Hoyland and Xerxes and Mount and Garnacho, all of them added up only scored one more goal than what Brian Abema on himself scored there. Cunha plays that kind of right side, left side, number 10. So, I think they're both good signings. The Brian Mbeumo one's not fully over the line yet. He was just kind of deciding between a few clubs and decided that he wanted to join United. So now the clubs are going to work out terms and that sort of thing. But the Matías Cunha is a confirmed one. That's over the line. It's a good start. It's promising because we need people that score goals. The defense, not terrible, not great, but in the end, it was really our lack of goal scoring, which really hurt us in the league this past year. We couldn't score goals at all. So you get people that can maybe put the ball in the back of the net, you're off to a good start. You got a young team. Ron and I were just talking about this. Pretty young team all in all, but I would not be mad if 10 out of the 11 players that start are all gone. So,
well, you're also going to have quite an influx of people who are out on loan that you're going to have to figure out.
Yeah. But hey, we're getting paid. United, this is a great deal. Chelsea are giving Man United Jadon Sancho back, not agreeing to the deal, and they're paying Man United $5 million to take him back.
Yes,
that's pretty nice of them.
That was the transfer fee essentially. And then another fun little twist. Manchester United has to pay Chelsea like $3.5 million because they won. What did they just win?
The thingamabobber.
Whatever that was, and it was with Mason Mount.
Yeah,
being a former Chelsea
so we still
player,
go ahead by like 1.2 or 5.
So we're just gonna send
pounds?
checks back across the UK to each other.
Just sports washing over there.
Hilarious.
Sports washing, yeah. Loan and player washing. God Almighty! But United off to a good start. I'm glad. I'm very glad the season's over. One, by the way, like officially over now. Totally glad that season's gone. I'm done with. So, not a bad way to start June so far.
With more news of transfers, the champions Liverpool are off to a quick start as they've already signed Dutch wingback Jeremy Frimpong, which is a great name when you see it written out, from Bayer Leverkusen for £29.5 million. And just at the end of last week, Liam Delap has agreed on personal terms to join Chelsea Football Club from his mini suitors. Monsieur Ron, how are you feeling about these changes?
Well, I think that's a little bit of a sneaky but good signing on Liverpool. I think Slot is going to be able to put him to great use in the infrastructure they've already got. And from Chelsea, this striker from Ipswich just annihilated Chelsea twice this season, just ran all over us. So that was a really great audition.
Good for
him to replace Nicholas Jackson. So
are you saying it can't get worse than Nicholas Jackson?
Well,
Because that's your favorite player.
Come on. If
Oh,
it gets
Nick
worse
Jackson,
than Nicholas Jackson,
please.
you're having to spend like $100 million for a striker.
oh,
He's
Nicholas
top of the
Jackson.
crop, my friend.
Ron's favorite player. I agree, though.
Nicholas Jackson.
The thing about Frimpong from Bayern Leverkusen, he'll hit the ground running at Liverpool.
Yeah,
Like,
and if you
that-
remember,
that's
TAA is out on the door, so it's a good
Yep.
replacement for that player.
Yeah.
excellent replacement.
To bring in.
Liverpool. I mean, if you're saying you're going to go for it again, that certainly looks like that's what you're trying to do.
And finally, for the last entry of our double mixtape of Brewtiful Game and LeagueA's Roundup.
Oh,
Totally missed it.
totally
There
missed
you
it.
go.
I'm like reading along.
We will double our 2-minute drill to give you the exclusive, kinda comprehensive, full bore preview of the FIFA Club World Cup taking place this summer in a U.S. city near you for a couple $100,000 a seat. When you go to empty stadiums and pay $9,000 for a beer and $12,000 for popcorn to just watch Messi win the golden boot, the golden ball, the golden man, the whole lock, stock, trophy, key, barrel, the whole thing.
Before it even starts, they're just going to hand it to him.
Hallelujah. Where's the Tylenol?
Here we go. Dates. Starts June 15, ends July 13. Host country in the United States of America. Here are the stadiums. East Rutherford, New Jersey, MetLife Stadium. That's where the final's going to be. Miami Gardens, Florida at the Hard Rock Stadium. Orlando, Florida, Camping World Stadium, and the home of Orlando City Inter & Co. Stadium. Charlotte, North Carolina will be playing at the Panthers Bank of America Stadium. Atlanta, Georgia, they will be playing at the Atlanta Falcons Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, they'll be playing at Lincoln Financial Field. Seattle, Washington, they'll be playing at Lumen Field. Los Angeles, California, the Rose Bowl. Cincinnati, Ohio, what? TQL Stadium. Why are they going to Cincinnati? Nashville, Tennessee at Geodis Park. Why are they going to Tennessee? Then Washington, D.C. at Audi Field and Pasadena, California for the Rose Bowl. Here's how the tournament format goes. You have 8 groups of 4 teams each. Each team plays 3 matches. And the top 2 teams from each of the group progress to the knockout stage. Any tiebreaker goes to goal difference, goals scored, head-to-head results, etc. In the knockout stage, you have the round of 16, then the quarterfinals, then the semis, then the finals. It'll all be single elimination. Tiebreakers will all be extra time and penalty shootouts where necessary. Prize money and revenue. This is what it's all about, gentlemen. The prize pool total. FIFA opening up the wallet, ponying up the bucks, $1 billion US.
That'll buy you
Billion.
a condo with cats in it.
In New York, but you have to look at, speaking of that real quick, Seattle's MLS game this past week. I don't remember who. I guess it was maybe against San Diego. I can't remember. But they all came out wearing shirts. Gentlemen, do you know what their shirt said?
Yeah.
Club World Cash Grab T-shirts. They
Yes.
all wore those as the Seattle Sounders player wore the shirts as warm-ups and player walkouts on Sunday, just in front of what was this, Sunday night only game that they had. It's to protest and call attention to owners and MLS's unwillingness to have a formal negotiation to decide how money for the upcoming FIFA Men's Club World Cup will be distributed. Seattle opens a tournament against Botafogo on June 15th at Lumen Field.
Did you guys see the article in April about what they're trying to do to sell tickets?
Yes. We reported on it.
With the buying the chunk of tickets, the 20 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you have to actually scan each one cracks me up. And then that you can get a World Cup ticket, but it is completely very vague about how the price. It's all it's so cheesy.
The whole thing, they're not wrong. The whole thing is a gigantic money grab.
So here would be the extent of our preview. Out of the 8 teams, here are the groups. You can choose to watch, go to, not watch, go to a bar mitzvah, a wedding, do something else besides watch any of these games. But here are the groups. Group A, Palmeiras, FC Porto, Al Hilal, and Inter Miami CF, who had won nothing but the Supporter Shield, which wins you absolutely all.
Yep.
In the MLS. Group B, Seattle Sounders. What did they win? The CONCACAF Champions League last year. And who do they get? PSG.
Right.
The Champions League winner. And oh, by the way, Atletico Madrid.
Can you say stacked?
Right. And then a Brazilian team who aren't half bad either, in Botafogo. So not the easiest of groups there. Probably the hardest group. I feel bad for Seattle. No wonder they're going to be like, screw you guys. If we get out of this group, we deserve some money here. Group C, FC Bayern Munich, Auckland City FC, Boca Juniors, and Benfica. Group D, Flamengo, Esperança de Tunasi, Chelsea FC, and LAFC. All the FCs in Group D. Group E, Argentinian team River Plate, Eura Red Diamonds, CF Monterrey from Mexico, and Inter Milan. Group F, Fluminense, Borussia Dortmund, Ulsan, and Mamelodi Sundowns. Do we ever look up where that's at?
No,
I don't understand that. Okay. Group G, Manchester City, Wydad FC, Al Anon FC, and Juventus. Group H, Real Madrid, Al Hilal, CF Pachuca, and FC Salzburg. And that is your FIFA Club World Cup. It all kicks off when, gents? Do we know?
15 June.
15 years.
You wouldn't know that was in less than 2 weeks. There is no.
No, I got 14 June.
Well, that's
an Inter Miami kickoff. First stage, Group A.
You got tickets?
Darn tootin'. Hard Rock, Miami.
So,
thank you.
Guess, without looking it up, guess who has the TV rights to the Club World Cup in the United States of America?
I cannot play because I'm looking at the site right now.
Is it who has it? I mean, is it going to be ESPN then if you're looking at the site?
No, God no. They only sold it 2 months back to the TV presenter. It wasn't that long ago where
they were having trouble.
They were having trouble. Yeah.
Because no one wanted to pay for it. Well, it ain't like
DAZN.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. What's that thing? That's...
Think UFC, right? Don't they show a lot of those type of things? Yeah.
Now, allegedly, this is not confirmed at this moment, as the time we're recording the pod, June 3rd at 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There are reports that TNT and Univision will also be sub-licensed to broadcast specific games only. But you can watch it for free on the DAZN app or website.
Can't wait. In fairness, there are a few games that I do want to see.
Right? Sure. So, I mean,
Paris Saint-Germain and Atletico Madrid That's like a Champions League game right there. That's pretty cool. That's on Sunday the 15th of June. Chelsea FC LAFC. All right, I might take a drive by. Yeah, I might take a drive by on that one. Let's see here. We're having a little trouble the further we go down.
Shocker.
Yeah. I was gonna say you start to run a little thin.
Yeah, you got Boca Juniors and Benfica. Not a bad match. Yeah, we're running Al Hilal and FC Salzburg. That's a humdinger.
Their website is quite messy. It's very animated.
Mm-hmm. We have here Juventus and Man City playing at Camping World on June 26th.
I'll be asleep.
Yeah, same. Unless somebody's like, "Hey, I got a free thing to go." All right, I might go.
Juventus.
Other
and
than
Man
that,
City. You're not going to go. You'll see Holland in person.
Broncos.
Be humble.
Oh, that game's at like 3:00 on a freaking Saturday in June in Florida.
You're gonna bake.
It's at the Citrus Bowl too.
Yeah, you're just
You will
gonna
literally bake.
Yeah, there's no shade there.
No, not an ounce. So no, I'm good.
And to answer your previous question, the Sundowns Football Club is South African.
Yeah, I thought it was South African.
Yep, and they have a bunch of different nicknames. One is the Stylish Guys.
Oh, yeah, heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yes, sir. That's our team. That's the Brewtiful Game team of the tournament right there.
And the other one is Shoe Shine and Piano.
Oh, this is the team of the tournament. This is the official team of the FIFA, the official, I can't even say it. The official Brewtiful Game team of the FIFA Club World Cup, the Mamelodi Sundowns. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
This website sucks. If you go to the FIFA.com and then it takes you to a PDF to look at the matches, and then they like list this is awful.
But first you have to get past 4 advertisements of Messi.
Yes. Good grief. It's just awful.
So they are called Shoe Shine and Piano because the club takes pride in its unique style of attacking play, locally dubbed Shoe Shine and Piano, which includes combinations of quick, short passes on the ground, and this is likened to the Spanish tiki-taka and total football over the years. This style of play has been reflected in its youth teams and its women's football team. There you go.
FIFA World Cup, Cup. Clubbity Cup. Yay.
Yeah.
Yay. That's your LeagueA's roundup. With the World FIFA Club World Cup. Now, whatever. Ridiculous.
Every diehard Club World Cup fan is turning us off.
Just turn us off. All 3 of them.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, that has been it. Is that what you said? Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't say it like you wrote it.
Yeah.
You hit it.
That's fine. That's fine. Right,
It's been your Brewtiful LeagueA's mixtape roundup. Boy, that just took all the wind out of what I thought was a good conversation in that 2-minute drill. Like, we got to that, and it was like, like the most exciting thing
that's
is
our preview. It's our comprehensive.
they can't
that's
sell
our in-depth.
Yeah. I mean, if that tells you anything. By the way, I went to Google and started typing in, does anyone care about, and it auto-filled in like the third one, the FIFA Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup. That was like the third one. Love it.
Hey, just remember that trophy. You get the special key. You turn the lock.
In fairness, it's a pretty cool trophy.
It is.
It is the coolest thing out of this tournament.
Yes, it looks like a Horcrux from Harry Potter.
It's really cool, man.
Like,
that is pretty neat.
It's either a Horcrux or like no, it's only cool if freaking Nicolas Cage swoops in like National Treasure and has to it can't be Indiana Jones. It needs to be knockoff version. It's got to be Nicolas Cage coming in
agreed
and undoing
hilarious
that. Oh god, it's freaking ridiculous. All right, gents, I think that brings us to our beers of the pod to wrap this sucker up. I had Lancaster Brewing Company Hayes Farmer New England style IPA.
I had the Koido Shikoku, the black lager of Japan.
Yeah, from Atlanta, Georgia, Sweetwater Brewing Company. Tropical high hazy IPA and a citrus haze 420, which I'm doing right now, and I'm glad I had it for our conversation about FIFA.
You said FIFA Cup, World Cup.
The
Club.
FIFA Club World Cup.
I couldn't even say it. I was trying to say it to be funny, and I couldn't even get it out. FIFA Cup, FIFA Club World Cup. Pity cup. Ferris, do you got a Zlatan quote for us?
I do not, but I have a quote about FIFA, and it's from our favorite CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo. You want to know what he said?
Perfect. Hit me.
I don't care about FIFA. This is bull.
Are you serious, Clark?
And he probably said it just like that. Yeah. I don't care about FIFA. This is bull.
That's hysterical, and I can't not picture him saying it the way that you did.
The other one I loved from the and I do really enjoy him, the world-renowned DJ Tiesto. I love playing FIFA on my PlayStation. That's
Okay.
the best thing they're known for. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We can't even play that anymore, though, these days.
No. Which I'm glad they didn't, because EAFC made a much better game.
Yeah, I think so.
Or that's the name of the game. So EA, but they couldn't get to a deal because FIFA wanted to.
They're going to do their own thing. Yeah.
As we kind of knew would be the case.
Oh, yeah. Well, that wraps us up. Follow us on the brewtifulgame.com or the socials, the blue skies, the Facebooks, the things. Leave us a rating and review. Let us know if you do. We'll get you something fun in the mail. Matt Call, thank you for your delightful text saying you've enjoyed listening to us for 8 years. And I had to say, oops, sorry, it was 9.
Go Oilers.
Go Oilers. There you go. Yes, Ron.
I forgot to ask this earlier in the pod. Who won the fantasy?
Oh, we suck. You know what?
Oh, I completely forgot about that. You want me to read the? Okay. Go,
yeah. Should we do that on the next pod?
No, stall.
Okay. So, see, I can't improv when someone tells me to do it. that's no good.
Crap. Okay, here we go.
It's going to log you out. You're going to try to log in. It's going to kick you out.
No, I don't. Oh, Brewtiful Game. Okay. Oh, this is so anticlimactic. Anticlimactic.
We know who it is.
Yeah, Kim won again.
I know, and he did. I know.
We'll just send you a thing of beer this time. Like
I know, Kim. I know. It's like at this point, Kim's like
a bet's a
Gary's
bet.
always up there.
Kim is like
Gary's always up there though. He's second.
Kim's gonna have to get a closet that is just the jerseys from.
Yeah, that we bought.
Like, yeah, I can't believe we forgot to bring that up. I was really.
Let's see. I think Ron forgot to sign up for it this year. He's not even. I don't even see him on here.
I started and then never went back to it.
No, yeah, I don't even see you on here, my friend.
No, I started to sign up.
It
It was a thing and a deal plus the extra and then the final, but with the SMS.
So Blake, Phil with the name Livin' Saliba Loca.
It's so good. He gets always a good name.
Yes. Me with Solanke Panky.
Also good.
And you with Blake's Brewtiful FC. We all finished 1, 2, and 3. Do you know what order we finished that in? Not 1, 2, 3 in like the standings, just in we're all grouped in that same bunch.
Phil, Ferris, Blake.
Yes. In that order.
Yeah.
Phil in 18th place out of 22 with 1,826 points. Ferris 19, just like Man United. 1,764 play. I beat you by a point. You are in 20th place with 1,763 points.
Gentlemen,
I triumphed by a single point, and you had to surge the last game because I only had 37 that final week. You had 42. If you scored 43, we would have tied.
Gentlemen, I'm really disappointed that you didn't take it so seriously this year.
Yeah, dude, you're not even on here.
I know.
You were relegated. That's how bad you were relegated down to the championship.
You're on the Yahoo League now.
Dang.
Oh my God. Well, there you go.
And I was the Southampton of that league because I should have gone down forever ago.
I can't believe we forgot to bring that up. I'm Kim.
I completely forgot about it.
I'm glad you came up in this pod.
Yeah, because we usually do that on the Premier League one, and we did it. Congratulations, Kim. Yeah, whatever. You're like the man of our Premier League fantasy thing.
Oh my God!
Don't worry, we're gonna levy charges.
But in fairness, Kim, congratulations.
Yep.
Tottenham, you won something.
Yeah, man.
Well done.
Yeah.
Now the question is Ange gonna stay or is Ange gonna go?
Oh, we can't go there again. We have to wrap this pod up.
No, it's fair. It's fair.
Only if you wrap it up in an Aussie accent.
Wait.
We'll wrap it up. Hey, mate. We got to close this pod up, mates. All right, mates. I got a question for you before I go, mates. Hey, mate, what do you call a French footballer playing on an old Nintendo console? Mate, you call him a Thierry Henry.
Well done. Nice.
Aussie.
That's great.
Love the beer. Cherish the game. The Brewtiful Game.